Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. Take it on the run, on the run, on the run. Hear them calling you and me, everyone for liberty. Hurry right away, no delay. Make your daddy glad and has such a lad. Tell your sweetheart not to find. Be proud, our boys in line. Overs, hurry right away, no delay, stop today. Make your daddy glad and has such a lad. Tell your sweetheart not to find. Be proud, our boys in line. Over there, over there. Send the word over there. That the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming, the drum coming everywhere. Pack your little kit, show your grit, do your bit. The Yankees do the ranks from the towns and the tanks. Make your mother proud of you, and the old red, white, and blue. Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. Take it on the run, on the run, on the run. Tell your sweetheart not to fight. Be proud, our boys in line. Oh,
There he is. Okay, it's not. I'm good. I'm good. Can you hear me? Yeah. I was having a. I just got home and it's good again. Yeah, I was checking settings. I mean, I was gone for like a week, and I was thinking there's a good chance that my son came through. You can put it on the normal scene, so we can massage this scene while we work. So I like that. Like, yeah, let's try this one first. But yeah, it was really weird. How about now? Can you hear me? Is it better? Better? All right. Okay. Cool. And we'll eventually want to get you like some headsets so you can like monitor what we hear, and that way if I'm louder than he is or he's louder than I am, I'll get a Wave XLR to put over there. But anyway, brother, what's been good? How you been doing? We missed last week because AT&T doesn't know how to bury fiber, right? They don't know what they're doing, so that's why we caught ourselves in this predicament. I am also live on YouTube, so you can kind of get a sense of where we're going with this. Can you hit the thumbs up? Bam! Yeah, sure. I'll throw it in. It worked. Nice. Okay, cool. Let me. Yeah, it's live. So this will be our first live one. I didn't publish it on anything but YouTube. I figure we'll practice, look at this clip, and then the next one that we do tomorrow, we'll throw it on the actual like LinkedIn as well if we want, or we can just do YouTube as well. All right, so I'm sending you the link right now. I'll throw it in your. That's my son. Yeah, make him come and help support this. Yeah, so he gets to do that. And occasionally, if he does it well, I'll give him some extra allowance money. You see him? There you go. Yeah, that's him. How old? 16? 17? 17, yeah, 17. Yeah, I know, right? I don't remember anybody's age. How do I get this? Nice. So pretty getting older. Oh, never mind. I know what I'm doing. I'm so slow. It's been one of those days. I haven't even. Okay, I lied. I already drink one beer. My apologies. But I know, right? I am the dumpster fire. So he just sent you the link of the thing, and we'll live it up. And I can't wait to like get more into this. And these are scenes that I already have, so I'll recreate these so it'll be more even. I'll probably get it where. Do we have one? What's another scene? Go to gaming. Like, let me see another one. There's one where I have an outline over myself. So. Okay, so that one would be. See, this one's not bad either, but I gotta kind of re-rotate my. Yeah, go back. Yeah, go back to the other one. That's like a different one. I think you have something with the other one. There, yeah. Go to me up. I think you have something. That's the chat. Never mind. But yeah, this one isn't bad too. Okay, not too bad. But yeah, I was in first. Before we even get in, what's the agenda? This is what I got this evening. It is absolutely horrible. It's watermelon mint. That's a legit question. And if I were to classify this, I'd classify it as neither. I'd classify it as butt cheeks because it's not the best. It's not very good flavoring. It's not very good flavoring. Yeah. Yeah, it's normal. Yeah, I don't I don't know. It's weird. I used to be a kind of guy that just drank like straight liquor, like and it would change. It would go from a rum to vodka, and for quite a few years I was enjoying mezcal. I'm not sure if you're familiar with mezcal, but it's very similar to tequila, but they bury and smoke like through burning process the agave hearts before they harvest them, and it gives it this real kind of smoky essence, and then there's just all sorts of different flavors depending on like recipes depending on the village and stuff that it comes from. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a Yeah, I think that definitely there's all sorts of good stuff that you can get, right? Different kinds of if depending on what you like, if you're willing to explore, there's all sorts of delicious drinks out there. I know, right? If you keep your eyes open, and I feel like my tastes are constantly evolving. Not when I was in the military, they were worse. You just drink anything, right? Whatever they got, you just drink it and you enjoy it. Mm. Okay. Okay.
Hey yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time? Look, I don't want to talk. I just need to
Nice.
press the kid and
It's
read
so
you a
strong.
soft.
It sounds so good.
But homie, you don't
It's
know
so
the
strong.
law.
It
Pedal
sounds
to
so
the
good.
metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't want to speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the please. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep.
Yeah.
Watch me have
They
spreading it with ease.
Yeah.
You gon'
It reminds me of where I just came from, the Miami area, right? I'm a huge fan of mojitos. And I don't like when it's like I like it at a normal type of bar. I don't like it in Miami where it's like you can get some really good Cuban or like some good nice mojitos, and my wife, she doesn't, right? She hates the mint to the flavor. Like she doesn't mind the thought of the drink, but the mint to her just ruins it, right? It just absolutely ruins it. Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Mm-hmm.
I just hit the stop. I don't want to speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the please. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Mm-hmm. Had your fair share. Nice. I feel that. And I can segue right into, you said you're on the way back. I can segue right into our automation talks, man, because I have a question for you. I have a question. Great. So two different gentlemen. So I was spending the week in Miami visiting corporate headquarters, right, seeing my team and stuff. It was a really good experience. Loved being able to kind of go down there and connect, and just being around is always a great thing. But 2 to 3 different times during the trip, I took an Uber right to the airport, back from the airport. Even last night at midnight on the way home. So this is not even just in Miami. This is also in San Antonio. The last two Uber drivers that I spoke to, both have been out of jobs for 6 to 12 months. Both of them are in the IT space and just struggling to find work. Now, I don't know if it's maybe the factor of experience being in the space a little bit longer, right, or whatnot. But what's the market like in your area? Do you feel like that there's opportunities in IT in general, or is this space sort of unique where there might be opportunities here? I'd love to get your thought and like what you're seeing in your area. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's very true. Mm-hmm. That's very true. It's tough, huh? Tough, huh? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, give me one. I know that does seem worrisome. Give me 1 second. So I just saw somebody said that they couldn't hear. Maybe I'll give you a copy of this because you're not. Yeah, somebody said they could just like watch. So yeah, I believe they say they can't hear you. So let me get this. We have our admin over here. Come on, analyst. Come on, analyst. Okay, can you say something, Joel, so I can see what channel you're coming to? No, okay, cool. I'll give you 1 second. I'll figure. It doesn't look like you're connected. All right, so Teams. No, it's not. It's not you. It would be the application, right? I need to be able. I'm grabbing you from voice chat. Let me see if I can move you over to like auxiliary 2 or something. Auxiliary 2. Microsoft Teams personal. Auxiliary 2. All right. So I can hear him in my headset. Let me go to this app. Let me go to the app itself. That's not changing. Okay, here we go. Okay. Speakerphone. Yeah, I got it now. Let me see. Let's put you on voice chat. Okay, can you say something else? I think they can hear him, but no, I can't hear him.
We're still there?
Are you talking? Are you talking, Joe? Can you hear me? Check. Okay, there. So yeah, I can see. Hey, can you hear me? Check. Okay, there. So yeah, I can see. Okay. I'm doing stuff. Alright. Hopefully I have added enough. There. Here. Check. Right here. Okay, so you're happy? Okay. Maybe maybe now that I rejoin, I can. What happened? It's back. Okay. So weird. Now I just gotta get back to Joel. And like you can take it, like if you see a situation where the camera, like I'm overlapping him too much or he's overlapping me, you can just edit it. This is the first. Maybe there are some scenes where I'm way too big or small, I'm covering him. Yeah, so just feel free to move. I got frozen. Rejoin the lobby. Okay. So weird. Now I just gotta find it. And like you can take it, like no idea why the situation where the camera, like I'm overlapping into yeah, hey, you hear me? Scenes where I'm way too big or small, I'm covering him. Yeah, so just feel free to move. I got frozen. Rejoin the lobby. So weird. Is he? Can you pull this up on the phone so you can actually see that? So we're getting audio. And you don't have to like leave it open, right? Just like check and like, make sure he has audio. I don't know what happened. It was weird. Like I don't know if like the internet was cutting out and that's why I couldn't hear you or what. But like it just kind of like froze, so we dropped. Yeah, and I went out to check what it was. You don't have to like leave it open. Good thing I have a tall boy and it's nice and dry. Make sure he has it. Try it. Wait, is he talking or no? I don't know what. I can hear you. Yes. It was weird. Like I don't know. Yeah, we'll just keep doing sound checks so he can. Like the internet was here because if you look at but like it just hear him froze and dropped. Yeah, and I went out to check what it was. My mic is level audio. Keep checking. I'm gonna see if I can adjust the setting. Are you talking or not? I don't know why I can't hear him. I can hear you. Speakers. Yeah, we'll just keep doing sound checks though. Because I can get it to where I'm here. I think he's coming out, but I can't hear him. Right, can you do another? Can you say something, Joel?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Testing. My tea is getting cold.
Keep checking. I'm gonna see if I can adjust the setting. I can't hear him. I can hear you. Speakers. You hear him? Yeah, we'll just keep doing. Yeah, I can hear. So he can. Now we got you on stream, but for some reason, like I can't hear you. It's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird. This is so weird. Let me give me a second. I know I can. There's a word too.
My tea is getting cold.
Keep checking. Yeah, I can hear. So he can. Now we got you on stream, but for some reason, like I can't hear you. It's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird. This is so weird. Let me give me a second. I know I can do it. I haven't. Yeah, I don't have any idea how to check. Okay. Yeah, I can hear. So he can. Now we got you on stream, but for some reason, like I can't hear you. It's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird. So if I have him go through the mic. I haven't. Yeah, I don't have any idea. That's what's gonna happen because he's. If I, that's why you probably hear me double. Okay. Yeah, getting the whole application to push that. Let's go to. So if I have. All right, can you give me another sound check? I think we still. Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. That's what's gonna happen because he's. If I, that's why you probably. That's really weird. Okay. Yeah, getting the. Yeah, I'm trying all sorts of different settings to see how I can hear you. Let's go to. But it's like I can either hear you or they can hear you, but sound check. Not both for some reason right now. I think we still. Can you hear me? Let's see. I don't think you can hear me. That's what's gonna happen. This is really weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying all sorts of different settings to see how I can hear you. But it's like I can either hear you or they can hear you, but I wonder if I have both for some reason right now. Can you hear me? This would be crazy if I have to change it like inside the... Yeah, I'm trying all sorts of different settings to see how I can hear you.
Hear you now.
Yeah, I just completely lost his audio. I don't know what's going on.
Hear you or
Everybody else can hear. Everybody else in the world can hear you right now, except me. And the only way for me to hear you is if I go right here. This would be crazy. Yeah, I can hear you. So let me see if I can somehow route it from me being able to hear you now to them, because I don't. Coming on my headphones. I'm trying all sorts of different settings. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I just completely lost his audio. I don't know what's going on. I have everybody else can hear. Everybody else in the world can hear you right now, except
always
me.
gonna be like delayed.
And the only way for me to hear you is if I go right here. Yeah, I can hear you. So let me see if I can somehow route it from me being able to hear you now to them, because I don't. There might be some setting on OBS phones. Yeah, I'm not. I have everybody else can hear. Everybody else in the world can hear. Okay, here's like her. Actually, I'm gonna do it. I have no idea. Let's go to this Microsoft FX. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, can you hear me still?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
And there might be something I still not hear you. How do I not hear you? I don't understand how I'm not hearing you. Yeah, this is very weird. Yeah, I have everybody else can hear. Everybody else in the world can hear. Okay, here's like her. Actually, I'm gonna do it. I have no idea. Yeah, I was gonna say you can. Can we go to Google? Try Google Hangouts, because I've tried like 10 different settings and none of those are working. Like I tried to relay it, so I don't think that worked last time. I have the one from previous. See if you can join this one. Let's try this. Yeah, I was gonna say you can. Can we go to Google? Try Google Hangouts, because I've tried like. Oh, that's why you're hearing double, because I had we weren't hearing it, but there was a tab. Yeah, there was a stream pulled up in the stream. How are you? What kind of wingman are you over here, man? You leave it be hanging. How'd you not even once pull up the stream to confirm what the audio was? You're killing me. You're killing me. Okay, ask to join. Camera. No, we should join the Google. I don't know how to get the audio from Teams for some reason. I can get the camera and everything, but I can't get the audio from Teams. Okay. Yeah. That is smooth. Asking to be let in. Nice.
Yep.
Okay, now I can hear you.
But my camera...
And good. Nice. And I see you coming through the broadcast line. I mean the browser line. So I know that you should be able to hear him. Can you validate? Oh, you can hear.
I can hear you, but my camera is not working.
Oh, yeah, he's on.
Yeah, okay, good. Oh, your camera? The camera's not working?
I cannot see you, and my camera is not working as well.
Yeah, mine isn't either. It's oh, there it is now.
I can see you now.
Okay.
Where's me?
Yeah.
Bang!
What happened?
Understand?
Big me.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah. It's do you have maybe sometimes depending on the type of camera you're using, if you have it working for one application and it's not completely closed out, it would like prevent you from using it in another one.
Oh, probably still Teams then.
Mm-hmm.
That was. But no, yeah,
Especially
I closed.
webcam. Yeah, I see the options in the bottom. Yeah, when I tried to first join, it kept saying error, like unable to connect to webcam.
Not even the. Oh my God, what is happening now?
I traded a buy prop. There we go. There you go.
Let's switch here.
I was gonna say it's a different camera angle. You got the two. Look at you, fancy pants. I'm over here just trying to make audio work, and you got two camera angles. I like it.
No, one is the integrated camera. None of them are as good as yours, though.
Oh. Well, I appreciate it. But anyway, I believe that we've got the audio thing figured out. We've got the a new method, right? We can come through here. We got this figured out. And I put my suitcase from the trip and a box of clothes behind the door. So hopefully my 3-year-old doesn't kick in the door again on us. So, but I was asking you, jumping back in, I was asking you about what your experience is like in Canada and the job market. And nobody got to hear what you said. So I'd love to hear what was your perspective again on, is it easy to get a job? Is it hard? Is our field, any different from other IT fields from that perspective?
Yeah. To be very honest with you, I'm like other than RPA, I'm pretty sealed in this industry, right? RPA, I don't even look around for other things.
Yeah.
I keep getting emails, as I told you earlier, like from previous experiences with Oracle, with Power Builder, with production support.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even bother replying to them anymore because I'm not interested, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how other areas within IT are. That's pretty unknown to me.
Yeah.
I know that when it comes to RPA,
excuse me,
like the UiPath specifically, or any RPA, like the Canadian market is not as good or as mature as the US market. If you type UiPath on LinkedIn, you probably will find like a handful of positions in the entire country. Whereas if you go to the US, it's probably like a few hundreds at least.
Yeah. I think that there are probably more opportunities from that perspective. I know that I'm currently very satisfied with my position, but I do get approached on quite a regular basis, right? So some of these, just recently, gentlemen, if you guys are looking for an opportunity, I know that somebody had shared a remote management opportunity as well for automation, this kind of stuff. So I definitely, there's definitely still, like you said originally, where people are pursuing, these opportunities pretty heavily, and there's still plenty, from my perspective, in our spot, there's still opportunities here. I don't think that they're necessarily like dying out. But I do see that general IT seems to be having a much bigger hit across the ecosystem as far as employability. It seems much more competitive just to get into like, IT project management in general or engineering.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I feel that the whole market here, got a little bit, they lose some momentum that they lost some momentum that they've got during the pandemic, because during the pandemic, like many positions were created, right? The whole IT area, wasn't that much affected. I feel quite opposite, right? I shift my job during pandemic, but after the whole thing of COVID, it seems to me that things got a little bit slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not in a recession, definitely not, but the market's different, definitely.
Yeah, I feel that too. I feel even in the U.S. where I feel like there are a lot more opportunities, while there's still some, I don't feel like it's growing, right? I don't feel like they're all of a sudden endless opportunities. And I also feel we're in this very unique space. Did you happen to see the Microsoft announcement with UiPath and
Nope.
agents and connectors and stuff like that? Yeah, so Microsoft is continuing to push the envelope, and they're incorporating their Copilot into Power Automate.
Awesome.
And so I see, and they, in a recent announcement that they had, and can you look that up on the side too and share the link, like an announcement for Microsoft with their GPT agents and Power Automate. They just literally had an advertisement for Power Automate leveraging GPT. So very interesting space. How do you feel the UiPath can even, where does UiPath go, right? If we're going to be leveling up Power Automate 10x, is that going to have an impact on what UiPath does in this space? Microsoft, yeah. No, UiPath.
Oh.
And Microsoft, yeah, they made the announcement.
Yeah. Well, it's not by mistake that UiPath is one of the leaders, if not the leader of the market in the RPA, right? They are investing heavily in the AI front. So UiPath also released the Copilot for Studio. I haven't tried the Copilot, to be honest. I haven't had that opportunity, but I took some pics on the material, and it seems to be so promising. So easy to use and to leverage. A lot of shortcuts, in the development in that regard. So UiPath is in a very good spot.
Agreed.
They have a very good vision of the market, and they know where to put the money in, and that's a differential. That's something that they do very well.
Yeah, I feel like they do heavily invest back into their technology, right? There's no doubt about that. And I further the sentiment that they're first, right? That they're number one in what they do. I'll be interested to do this, and you can just share that link. When you get these links, you can just share them through like through your Facebook or something, like Messenger, so I can just pull them up on this screen. So we'll figure out a system for it.
Yeah, I think you're best for everyone.
But yeah, so I'm looking at it right now too. Yeah, definitely. Even UiPath announced it, right? So they announced basically a connector for Copilot, which I think is brilliant. By the way, like.
Okay, but a connector from where?
To integrate UiPath into seamless. I don't know. Actually, let me look. Let me just play this. What did it say? 80 plus. Check out 80 plus automations available UiPath Marketplace. Microsoft helps run your enterprise. No, so this isn't it. This is the wrong one. Yeah, so you'll look for like Power Automate. Look for one that says like Power Automate and UiPath. Matter of fact, let me just pull it up because I commented on it. I dropped a Ace of Diamonds on the post earlier, so let me just pull up this post. All right. So right here, George Roth, which you're familiar with, I'm sure. I'm not using the mouse. Basically said at Build, Microsoft announced a lot of interesting things. Microsoft has the Copilot. Obviously, we know what the Copilot is. The UiPath plugin and integration with Copilot. So UiPath has developed a connector for Copilot.
Nice.
So if they're able to kind of tie into what Copilot does, and I'm sure that they'll be able to figure out ways to, how do I put, I was going to say like monitor, right? Track, see what the capabilities are. At least if I'm leveraging a bot and I've created a solution that calls GPT, whatever that connector is and whatever that information is getting passed back to my bot, right? That I'm sure that connector is going to be tracking some of that, right? I don't think it'll be at like a language model level, but
yeah, it's hard, man. Because I don't have, I didn't try this before. I'm even struggling to think on scenarios where we would use this connector to autopilot. Oh my god.
Yeah, Copilot. So have you tried UiPath Autopilot? You said you haven't yet?
No, I haven't. And I just saw some material, some videos, and was reading a little bit about it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. It's very interesting now, and the fact that appreciate it. I see some people chat in the chat, and I apologize if there is a background noise. We noticed that when I was setting this up. I'm gonna have to go through and check every audio cable. Not sure where that's coming from. Play some soft music in the background next time, and people won't even notice. But I did play with that agent, which, if you're not familiar with what autopilot is essentially text prompt where you say, hey, I want you to go get me gas prices across the 50 states, right? And then it'll build a automation that essentially can do that in some fashion, right? That's very generic. I'll say that when I use that tool, that every time I had one specific mission. If you're familiar with the RPA Challenge website, I tried to talk it into making a solution to do that challenge. Very unsuccessfly. I had to massage the solution quite a bit. The most interesting thing is if I typed into that prompt at autopilot more or less the same thing 4 different times, it would build me 4 different automations.
Oh, so,
really? Which is kind of funny if you think about, right? If I'm creating that's cool with art, right? Like how generative AI would work in that space. But for automation, that's not what you want, right? You don't want, if I have people building that, I don't want everybody building something different. Thoughts?
Yeah, but see, it was just released, right? So
yeah, true.
It might be some beta version, and they will get improvements really shortly. That no doubt about that, right? Like any new technology, there's some time to improve until
that's very true.
Stable enough, right? So I don't know how much tests, I don't know how much training these models received, and
yeah, that's very true.
It's new stuff, right? We have to use with cautious. Even ChatGPT, when you go and you try to do some research there, they put a disclaimer down there, right? Saying, oh, ChatGPT can make mistakes. Always check our answers. Excuse
me. Yeah, that's very true. That is very true.
And ChatGPT makes a lot of mistakes as well. Like, if you use that on a regular basis, you will get the mistakes. Like, you can't simply ask whatever question and assume that that's the truth.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be quite some time before we have the comfortability to just accept all these generative AI solutions that have been built, right? For sure.
Yeah. But see, I knew we would talk about AI today. I was quite sure about that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, when was the first time that I realized not the power of AI, right? Because we are still to discover how much power AI has. But the first time that I noticed some intelligence, running on my computer. Do you have any thoughts? Like, do you remember when was the first time that you saw something that, oh, this is
for AI?
This is
Yeah.
not just some programming, some developer creating like a code. Like this is more than that.
I think that the cool. Let me see if I even have a picture of it too. I have. I downloaded some pictures, some historic pictures, and I don't think I can. I don't think I see them in here, so I'm not going to dig around too much. But when I saw UiPath demonstrate their CV capabilities live, that was probably a moment for me where I was just kind of blown away, right? Because no longer was it a scenario where you had to know the back-end HTML or the code and to connect it. You could just point it at a JPEG or an image, and all of a sudden it would identify all the key value pairs, all of the different sort of anchor positions and stuff. And I was able, they rolled this out into private preview, and this is like 2018 or 7, I can't remember, pre-pandemic. I'm the kind of guy that they rolled this out in private preview, wasn't even a GA'd yet, and I did a live demo at Oracle Open World in front of 50 to 100 people. It was still GA'd. I did a live demo leveraging I think it was like an Oracle. What I did is I had access to Oracle, like a test sandbox, and I showed them doing automation with it like you would through a traditional interface, the user interface. And then I showed them, I popped up a virtual machine, then logged into Oracle through there, and then showed them how it still recognized all the buttons, even though it didn't have access to any of the code. And they were like, whoa. So yeah, that was probably my moment where I was like, dude, the AI and computer vision, same stuff that Tesla uses, right? Self-driving cars, they're taking pictures and calculating the data. So yeah.
Yeah. No, my initial interaction with AI was much earlier than this. Probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
There was this website. I don't know if you ever saw this, Akinator. So it's kind of a genie, right? So
okay.
It's funny and silly at the same time. But this website essentially figure. You think someone, it can be anyone, it can be your son, it can be a famous person, and then the website that this genie starts to ask questions to you, right? Oh, is this a male or female? Oh, it's a male. Then you don't need to answer, right? You just think, oh, it's a male. Next question. Actually, you have to answer. It's a male. Does it live in North or South, or does it live in America or South America, whatever? So the point is, it narrows down, right?
Yeah.
Pretty well. So, and the questions are very good, and most of the time, it guesses who you are thinking. So
that's pretty
cool. I remember
cool.
When I saw that the first time, I was, how come? So I would think like very random people, like could some famous people, some.
And always got it, huh?
Always. Even when I was thinking of myself, right?
It knew him.
Yeah, that was one of the first time that I noticed like some intelligence behind. Oh, I lost your camera.
Yeah, I was just swapping in a new battery. I don't have my big D-Pack charged from the trip, so took a second. I just quickly turned on and off the camera.
But
yeah, that's pretty cool. Right? I think that's definitely to be honest, I obviously I had interactions with AI before the computer vision, but obviously there was nothing incredible about Siri. I feel like that's probably one of the worst AI products that Apple ever created. If I'm being honest, I feel like, that definitely was dumpster juice. But I think that it's come a long way, right? Because some of that stuff, you saw ChatGPT-O, right? Where the Omni channel, like sounds like you're talking to a person, right? Obviously, you kind of get the little robot vibes, but.
Did you check the latest update for ChatGPT?
I haven't. Yes, I do have a sub to GPT, but I haven't messed with any of the newest stuff yet. I haven't dabbled with it. There's always something to mess with, right? Always something.
Yeah, it's hard to keep it up, right? There's always something new coming up, and I find it very challenging to keep it up with all the technologies. And
Yeah.
very often, like there's some points in my career in my life that I thought, oh my God, I just want to relax now. I just want to stop. I am good. Like I don't want it to move further. But then, like life just goes on. Like well, life is tricky, right? So you sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into RPA, right? And now
Yeah.
that I'm on RPA, like AI is the big thing. Like, and then after AI, what's next? So there's always something coming in and out, and new technologies appearing, old technologies just vanishing.
Yeah. I think that's the truth, right? You got to be on your toes. You seemed kind of excited when I was talking about Copilot and Power Automate kind of connecting. I've been seeing this sentiment for about 5 years that that RPA is dead. It's like it's dying. So what is your thought? Do you feel like there's any merit to that? Is that something that's the case or not? You don't think it's dying? That this GPT stuff's not gonna mess it up?
Well, maybe someday, right? We never say never, right?
Yeah.
Maybe someday, like a lot of professions, they just goes away. They just go away, right? So, but I don't, definitely it's very far from now. Definitely, I don't see any traces of being, vanished. Quite the opposite, right? Every day people are creating more stuff, more systems, more applications, more like they are digitizing the world, right? And the more they do that, the more use cases for RPA. And RPA is really awesome because you can facilitate, you can create robots that will just do your work.
Yeah.
And I don't see that reducing. I see that just growing. The more we go further. But what about you?
No, I think so too. Right? I think it's still premature to say that it's dead. Right? I don't think that this thing like RP is gonna die anytime soon. I am worried about. To be honest, I am worried about long term what robotic process automation does. I think that the term and sort of, I think it is turning into application like platform. It's turning into a platform, right? More than any sort of thing. And so my only worry is the sort of the core work that we do of building these automations sort of disappears, right? There's plenty of tech that does a lot of this stuff. And all of these things are adding in extra capabilities and new functionality. So while I don't think it's dead, I think it's a very important time to remain aware of what you're seeing, right? Be aware of what the market's doing, right? If you work in this space, I think you got to just constantly be aware, because while UiPath's leading the pack right now and they've been consistently number one, things can change overnight, and you don't want to be in a niche that's already a niche space on a dinosaur, right? I feel there are other vendors out there like that. I'm not gonna disrespect anybody by naming them, so I will, like a Blue Prism or something like that, right? Some people are working on these tools, and I don't think that some of them will be around, not in their current form in the next 5 to 10 years. They'll be consolidated, in my opinion.
Yeah, what I feel it's going to happen, or it's already happening, right? A lot of these platforms like ServiceNow, Salesforce, Oracle, Microsoft, they have their own automation, not a specific RPA, but they have some sort of automation capability already, right? So that is going to make the market a little more, what would be the word? Dissipate, I believe, is the word.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, that is impacting. I even see Justin here. You mentioned that he's going through that kind of stuff in the storage space, right? There's just I don't like all the industries are just being disrupted. Here's a crazy thing that I learned. I want to explain this to me and just tell me what you think about this and American situation with expenses. So Amazon, they had purchased Whole Foods a while ago, right? Whole Foods. The moment that they announced that they were acquiring Whole Foods, obviously it had a massive impact on their stock. The difference in their starting price of their stock before they announced Whole Foods to the ending price of their stock after they announced it, the amount of market capital that their stock went up completely funded the entire purchase of Whole Foods.
Really?
Billions of dollars. The money that their stock made literally funded it. And if you understand anything about economics and stock and where did that come from, right? A big chunk was coming from potentially other stores and vendors, mom and pop shops that people had invested in, and now they want to make a buck off of Amazon, and so they pull all their money. So then you think, if that's the correlation, that you have a situation where thousands and thousands of not big brand companies funded Amazon's acquisition of Whole Foods. It's just crazy, right? And so that's how quick like markets can change, right? I mean, if you're a $1 billion company making an announcement, it can have a huge impact.
Well, but the stock market going up or down doesn't necessarily. I have some limited knowledge on this, but because the shares are already on the market, right? You bought it, I bought it, many people bought it.
Yeah.
So the price going up doesn't necessarily mean the money is going back to the company, unless Amazon had like a bunch of shares that they released during this period, right? Because after they release, it's not there anymore, right? They sold, so it's yours.
Yeah. So that's definitely could be the case, right? So depending on what the situation is, obviously. There are probably securities and fraud related issues if you try to sell your stock or buy a bunch of your own stock right before it. You can't. There's laws.
Regulations, right?
Yeah.
Regulations.
So, but
there's always insiders, right?
Yeah. Well, and you got to think too, right? Like, and I'm pretty limited on the exactly. See, someone just mentioned it too, right? This is the actual point. If you look at Netflix. If you look at Facebook, all these large corporations that make billions of dollars, they're like Netflix they're not profitable. They're not profitable. They don't actually make any money. But like Justin's mentioning, what it does is once you get evaluated to a certain point, then you get leverage. You leverage that evaluation to get free money, right? The way interest rates were previously, these large corporations were getting dollars for dollar on the cent, and they leverage that to make more purchases and have bigger debt.
Of course, yeah. They didn't get that size, by chance, right? By lucky. They were pretty smart on how they invested the money, and not being profitable. It's a strategy, right? Many companies do that, so they just borrow more money and
keep do
it. Keep increasing their company, growing.
Keep on growing. Now I'm trying to think too. Let me see if this one article I had saved. Oh, so we're speaking of stocks, and we're going to continue this show tomorrow. This was a makeup, so we're going to continue this dumpster fire tomorrow. And maybe Joel even have a beer in his hand. But I wanna since we're already on the topic of stocks, I wanna talk about one topic, right? We'll get your opinion on it before you wrap this up. But I wanna talk to you about a stock, right? So you can go to your computer and type in austinai.io. Austin AI, just like you would imagine it to be spelled, austin.ai. austinai.io. Right? So
austinai.io.
And I'm you can, in your free time you can kind of take a look at this website, but I'm familiar with this company. Very, very familiar. And we're talking about stocks, and there's a gentleman that just made an appearance that hasn't been seen for quite some time in the stock game, and I bet somebody in the chat will know exactly who this celebrity stock trader is that just popped up, sent a bunch of markets going haywire. Anyway, as they post this in there, right? A lot of, if you're familiar with meme stocks and all of the stuff that happened around that with GameStop. So yeah, there we go. RK, he got it in there. He's right. Mo put it in the chat. So he's back, right? And so there was this big scenario on how he was able to generate money. If you know the story, you know the story. But big value that came out of them and the way that they did it is the big people, the big players weren't as into this game that these Twitter and Reddit people were doing, right? Big Brother couldn't make moves and weren't tracking. So the reason I shared this link, Austin AI, is I'm sharing this because if you're in this space, I want you to be aware of what's actually going on now. So all of these big hedge funds that lost these short bets and lost billions or millions of dollars, what they did is they took the opportunity while none of this stuff was going on, and they got really smart about how we did this. And so they developed AI, and they have entire portfolios out there now, these hedge funds that literally troll Reddit, and they troll all of these forums, and they're searching for sentiment analysis in meme stocks. And all they're doing is tracking all of the activity that the people and the humans that are involved in this that try to start these waves in, and they're seeing whether we're going to be buying or selling. And they're moving mass portfolios right in with the population, right? So while the average Joe might have been able to cash out and kind of pull it out from under the big guys before they were able to kind of get smarter, so many people are involved now and they're using technology. And if you're just a day trader and you don't have AI or robotics and you're not able to get in quick or drop right, they're tracking what we're doing. So, you know, the market, you got to be careful what's out there. And I know that people are doing that because you'll find a case study on that website I just shared that speaks specifically about this. And this was years ago. So what do you think about leveraging AI and bots, you know, and the whole social media aspect? I know you're not too familiar with stocks, but here's a situation where someone's using AI and robots to trade based off what people are thinking about stocks, not data about whether it should be bought or sold, whether human beings are saying, hey, we should start buying this and start seeing upvotes.
I do have some, you know, experience with stocks. Till this day I have some back home.
Okay.
But whenever I try to do day trade, I just lost. So the ones that I have, like I have them for a few years already. So they keep, you know, giving me dividends. So that's there. I don't do day trade for quite a long time. Like that's past.
I'm bad. I'm way too risky. I would lose everything.
Yeah. No, it's too emotional, right? It's you get emotional with the money, and then you lose, like if you don't control yourself. But even when I was trying to do day trade, people were already using bots. So
yeah,
it's extremely complicated, even if they are not using AI, right? But you create bots to buy and sell pretty quick, like people that can put a lot of money and take a lot of risk.
Scalpers, right? People have been doing it for like scalping. Like, you know, they buy stuff off Amazon or releases and they'll sell it on Amazon. I mean, yeah, it's true. So they've been doing it for a long time.
As a human, like, there's no way you can compete with a bot, right? There simply is not possible.
Yeah.
But now using AI to you know, direct or to lead the market, that's unbelievable. Like,
yeah,
it would happen, you know, sooner or later.
Yeah.
Like, I bet there's much more, you know, companies doing what these guys are doing, and it's just technology serving for you know, making more money.
Yeah.
So if I were doing some trades now, I like I am, but I'm not going to try to compete with these technologies. I remember in the beginning, I was pretty focused. I was reading a lot, day trades books, and studying and following people. Like they would do like live sessions where they would buy and sell. Would do exactly what they were telling me to do, and still I would lose money because after drop the call, like I wouldn't do exactly what they were saying, right? But after we dropped the call, oh my God, what now? It's going down. Oh, let me sell.
Yeah, right. I can't do it. Right? I am horrible. Gambling. I'm horrible at this. I enjoy, like when I went, so at Forward, hopefully you get to go to Vegas when we go. Because I went last year with some friends and we went and I pulled out like $100-200, went straight to the roulette table. Let me do it that way. And I got up, I was up to like 300 or 400, but I was there. I'm going 1,000 or bust, right? That was my thing. I want some big money or nothing. I'm going with nothing. And so I lost I got all the way up to like $300 or $400, $500 on roulette, and then dropped down to 100. And I was gonna go play blackjack with the guys, but they were on a hot streak, and so I just gave the lady. Oh, dude, we had an old ass woman. No, I don't mean that disrespectful. She was very old, but she was 30, 40, 50 years of blackjack experience, and she was shitting on my friends. She was like, why'd you make that play? And she would tell us why. She was like, dude, you don't ever do that. And I ended up giving her $100 tip because I was like, I'm going to waste this money anyway. Just give it to her because she was straight comedy. Just roasting my Marine buddy, Charm. It was so funny. He's very analytical, so I got sidetracked. You said you're talking about gambling, and I thought about that moment.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Yeah, but you were asking about what I think about AI.
Yeah.
Well, as any other space, AI is just going to grow. But I think that this kind of use case, people don't want to share that much, right?
Yeah.
Because it's quite sensitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of money. I don't know, like. This kind of use case doesn't make headlines, right?
No.
It's not like UiPath when they launched Copilot, they want everybody to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
A company like this, they want to be on the shadows, right? They don't want to bring the attention to them usually.
Yeah, I think that's the case, right? But that's why I wanted to bring it up, right? Because when I see something like Roaring Kitty, and I know that his brilliance also leads people to maybe make outsized risks, right? And I just want to make sure that people play with the right knowledge, right? So that's exactly why I wanted to bring it up. Let people know that there are transformers out there, betting with large portfolios, and they're excited about you guys getting excited about stock, right? They're happy and they'll trade on it.
No, it's kind of. Have you played with NFT, non-fungible token? Have you seen that?
Yeah, so I have my own. What was it, Lance? What was it called? It was
Ethereum.
Yeah. So we had Ethereum, but I have my own NFT domain. It's I can't remember what it was. It was like window shopping or something. I can't remember what it was, but I bought my own like NFT based domain so I could dabble and do stuff. But I haven't messed around with it lately, right? The markets, you know what the NFT market's like, if you even know about NFTs.
No, NFT is totally sentimental, right? It's like
in current use. The way that it's been commercialized today, there's so many different ways for us to do it, but yes, as its current state, yeah.
Yeah, so
Window Factory, that's right.
Yeah, if you just is a big influencer, you can create your own NFT and make millions out of nothing, right?
Yeah, do rug pulls.
Volatile, yeah. It's very, very volatile.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? I don't know. I think Sam Altman and all those groups, right, showing Binance or whatever the other Asian gentleman that got arrested, but they're able to somehow pay everything back, right? I think that, you're seeing the best, you're seeing some of the worst, but the technology is going to be there, right? I think that blockchain and that stuff isn't going to go anywhere.
No, definitely not.
Ethereum, he said, it's pushing 4K again. What's bit at? I wonder what bit's at. I have some friends that bought into it still, but...
I bought some Ethereum, some Bitcoin, some, I would say very, very little, right? Just a few hundred a couple of years ago. But then it went down, stayed low for quite a while. When I got my money back, when I was even, I would just draw and okay, just leave it.
I think that me personally, that's, those are sort of like long shots, right? And I feel like you got to sprinkle them out on some of those. In my opinion, if I were to get back into anything like that, I'd sprinkle it around some of those meme coins. And if one of them skyrocketed, right, just like some of the meme stocks, then I would cash out.
But if you are not involved with the market as a whole, if you're not following the trends, if you are not engaged on the social media, you are not going to find that meme stock that's going to just skyrocket. You're just going to put money here and there.
It's luck. That's random luck. That's why I said I'm not good at it.
Yeah, I remember a guy, friend of mine. That's how I got into it. Like, it was this coin, Shiba.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shiba Inu.
Yeah. So he came to me, hey Joe, look at this, man. It was like this much. Now it went up like 1,000%. I'm going to get rich. And he was buying that, and I look at that. Oh, that's nice. It was indeed like a spike, huge spike, right?
Yeah.
So I bought I don't know how much, like $100. And I got like 1 million Shiba Inu. So I was joking. No, now I am a millionaire, right?
Millionaire, Shiba-naire. Yeah, that's funny.
But after I bought, it just went down. Like, it's still there.
Bad.
Like, probably $10 worth it.
That's so funny. I can't even. That's what it is, though, right? It's such a gamble. It's so random. But the funny thing about it is, I know senior executives. I've seen people in the U.S., like senior executives who just make stupid money. They would be on the Robinhood app long before meme stock, and they would be spending tens of thousands of dollars doing the same thing. Like, oh, let me spend this money on this random stock today. I have no idea, but I read an article about it, and they'll all buy it, or they'll see like something, and they'll be like, yeah, buy this, and then at lunch they'll all spend this much money, and then, but sometimes though, like, it's crazy the effect of just like exponential value, right? Like, even like if you only drop a couple $100, and even if something goes kind of crazy, it's like, well, you make a couple more $100, right? It takes like thousands, but if you got like 10,000, all of a sudden it just 3x. Now you have $30,000, and that's like a ridiculous amount. Like, wow, it's like way more than $300 from 100.
Yeah, but who has?
You said he had billions.
You
said he had billions of Shiba.
Like to gamble.
Yeah, right.
It's for a very unique group of people, right?
Lucky people. They're just they're luck.
I think like twice or 3 times to spend like $10 in a gamble. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't do that with 10,000.
No, and that was crazy, right? This is another thing. I'm going to be doing these video essays on my channel, throwing them up. I'm kind of working on the concept right now. I mean, the outline, but there's this new science, and I'll leave you with this thought. We wrap up, so we have plenty to chat about tomorrow. But there's this new science that as human beings, we actually have very little free will. Or at least that our understanding of what kind of free will we actually possess is very minute. And that most of the time, 99% of what's driving us every single moment is just a bunch of calculations that we're not really in charge of. They're just kind of happening, and we're saying yes or no, or yes or okay. And even down like to the tiniest level, like when you want to eat something, right? Has nothing to do with you wanting to or not wanting to. Whether you're going to eat, it's all sort of like calculated already, and we're just sort of doing it. Yeah. So are you familiar?
Do you mean the entire universe, or
it's
what is it called?
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? It's not absolute. So very good question. it's not that we're completely void without the capability of touching and accessing our free will. It's just that our understanding of us actually using it isn't correct, and we never use it, and our capacity, the amount of capacity we use is very small. But to give you an example specifically, think about the Salem witch trials, right? If we were just sort of predestined and pre-calculated for things to happen, we wouldn't, as a society, be able to say, hey, reflectively look back and say, we can't do this, right? That's not right. This thing happening, we everybody used to think these people were possessed. They had demons and all this stuff inside of them. And then now we realize, like, hey, that's not right. And that's being able to access free will and saying, hey, even though I'm programmed to think this is what it was, no, it's not that case. But for a majority of the scenarios, it's just not us, right? And even success, whether talking even obesity, right? If you're someone who's obese, that literally we're saying that has nothing to do. You have zero control over getting into that state and also getting out of it. And you think you might have some sort of free will, but you're not at fault for that. It's hard to grapple, right?
Yeah, but I don't think that way. I don't believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would be the reason for living then?
Right. That's the sort of the what would that I don't. The question doesn't determine whether that's a reality or not, though. True, right? Whether your question, what's the point in even existing if that were the case? It doesn't say that isn't the case, but I would actually beg to just interject that 20,000 years ago we were running around. The only thing that we could think about is survival, right? And not to starve to death. And we were living in caves, 100,000 years ago. And we have these nice fancy technologies, and we probably think that we're pretty advanced, but we're literally just cavemen and cavewomen, like using these very, very sophisticated tools, right? We think that we're in charge. So, well, the question is, what is the purpose of living? I mean, usually for us originally it was instinctually it was to survive and recreate like any other organism, right? That's the whole purpose. And now we're kind of sophisticated, but we don't really put much thought into anything. I mean, think about it. When you get up and you go to work and you make a decision about what time you're going to leave, how many calculations do you stop and make yourself about what time? Maybe 3 or 4.
Many of these things we don't calculate anymore. It's just routine, right?
Yeah, and that's what we're saying. You're kind of just
that's not it's not a free will and kind of thing, because we are programmed to do that every day. Like I have my phone ringing every day at 6:20, right? Because I know I have to get up.
Yeah. And so and here's the thing with it though, like just how we're programmed to do that. That's what we're saying. That's what the whole argument with this free will is we're literally programmed for everything. Our parents teach us, how to eat our culture teaches us these things. And instead of us making our own independent, unique perspective where all of the culture and upbringing and society and everything that's already happened to us and our experiences is informing the calculation on the decision we make, and it's not actually us.
So it's kind of, I see your point now. So it's a mathematical probability that we're going to do that in that way. Because,
there you go.
Yeah. It's a very, very interesting point. Yeah, indeed. So because when you started saying, I thought, oh, he's going to say that there's a,
it's like predetermined or something.
Divine power.
No.
Controlling like we are. No.
Yeah.
I get. Well, we all fall into some probabilities, right? So and that it's a very good argument.
Think about that. That's what I wanted to leave you with, a brain nugget, because the whole thing is I'm going to be starting an video essays on this topic because I think it's so deep, and if that's the case, if there's validation and Neil deGrasse Tyson, if you're familiar with that astrophysicist.
I love him.
He's had a couple of episodes on this topic in the last 6 months, so you should check it out. But it sparked me to have these, because if this is some new science that comes out, there's another Huberman, if you're familiar with this guy who does podcasts. But there's a part of your brain called the mid-cingulate prefrontal cortex or something. I'll get the correct name. But it kind of ties in with this. So all this new science, I'm very interested to see how much of this is fact, and that's why I'm kind of wanting to do some dives.
Can I really quick before we wrap up?
No, we're good.
Do you have you heard about the Easter Island?
Yeah, Easter Island with statues and above ground. Yeah.
Do you know the whole do you have an idea how that end up that way?
I know I've read theories over the years, but I don't think I can say like definitively what I've heard. Yeah.
I watched some documentaries about it, so it's pretty interesting. Like I don't remember how they got there, but anyway, they were there and they were quite advanced, quite an advanced civilization, right? In that island. And they actually didn't know that there was someone else outside of the island.
Oh yeah,
the world was the island.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
The problem was they got so good. They were a pretty, as I said, advanced society, and they just expanded and grew to a point where they just collapsed.
Oh.
And there were so many people in the island, and the island is not so good. And they were just, chopping the trees for making boats, for doing housing.
Oh, I did. Yes, I remember this now. Yeah.
And then at some point they cut the last tree, and then people start to starve to death. They start to war, against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, it got to a point where some people could still live there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think up until this date, there's inhabitants there. I don't know how many, but it's a very interesting story, right?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing this guy saying, to some extent, we as a planet Earth, we are like the Easter Island, right?
Yeah. Oh
we
man.
don't know when we're going to collapse.
don't get me started. I have next tune in to the next episode. I'll talk on a point called iceberg. Fishbowl worlds, right? And if you're familiar with the Fermi paradox, this ties into the Fermi paradox on why haven't we seen any aliens? And a recent hypothesis is one called fishbowl worlds. So I'll have to bring that up next time. But I love the kind of stuff that you were speaking of. I could talk about that. The Easter Island, I forgot too, right? They literally chopped trees down until they had nothing for cover or protection. Like they had no trees left. I remember that story. Yeah, that was wild.
It's just what blows me away is why the trees didn't, recover, because nature usually recovers, right?
Yeah.
If you just let alone.
Yep.
So why did the trees didn't ever recover? Because the island today is just like plain grass. It's a grasslands.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. Well, Joel, I've had a absolute pleasure having this conversation with you. I can't wait to have one tomorrow, bro. And we'll keep the topic going: robots, beers, and whatever we want to talk about. Sometimes it's space, sometimes it's free will. Who knows?
Tomorrow I'm gonna bring some beer to make this more interesting.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, you don't want me, because if the more beer I drink, then I start getting louder, wilder and stuff, and
me
definitely.
Too. So if you watch the recording from last time and today, you will probably notice that today I was much more, quieter and listening more. And last time I was probably shouting a lot. It was nice.
Cool. Well, I appreciate everybody who did stop by the chat too. Thank you for coming in, tossing some stuff in there, keeping us engaged. We'll do this again tomorrow. This was the makeup session, and we'll do it every Friday. We'll have one live from Seattle, right, when we get to go out there.
Yes.
And we'll do one session live from there. Plus, hopefully, if we get to Vegas, we'll do one live there as well. But looking forward to this. This has been fun, Joel.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, this has been a pleasure to do, and it is something when we talked the first time, right? I was thinking, okay, what can we do? What can we do, right?
Yeah.
And now that we started, there's so much that I'm thinking, oh, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, we can do that, but it's just hard to find time to do everything.
Right. Okay, we'll find it and we'll get a rhythm, right? And I'll clean up some of these graphics. We'll get the chat. I want to get the chat rolling in here too, so the chat will actually be a part of. You'll see it on the screen, so we'll get that going. And we're not going to do a UiPath rap. We'll get a UiPath rap going once we get a few more viewers. That'll be like a goal.
Awesome.
but man, hey, I appreciate it and look forward to talking to you soon, brother.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, there we go. Thank you, UiPath hiring. I'm sure they do have jobs popping up. There's lots of RPA based jobs. There's a huge need for. There's people in this chat who are RPA developers, and there's a huge need for people like that. And Power Automate, UiPath, Microsoft's tool, Microsoft's UiPath RPA tool. It's called Power Automate, and it's like learning Excel before Word before anybody else would know it. Are you doing the weight? You see what this guy did? This is what this weirdo's doing. Bam! Look at him. That's my analyst. That's my research analyst.
Holds up things every once in a couple years.
Yeah, he lets the stream run live for 30 minutes before we find out that we don't have audio.
Yeah.
But man, thanks so much. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Later. You still on my mouse? Go ahead, do it. You do it.
No,
Kill us.
no.
Kill us.
You click it.
Do it.